everyone, and welcome again to Whisky Wednesday. This week we have something it's quite special. In 2015, this brand of this whisky was voted as the singular best whisky at the World Whisky Awards, the Kavalan Vinho Barrique. This particular one isn't that bottle, this is a newer batch, but the one that did win it is from the exact same style, and it's consistently quite similar with this. What this whisky is, it's aged for no more than 6 years, being distilled and matured in Taiwan. Obviously that country is particularly humid, it's particularly warm. The evaporation that their casks experience throughout the years is ridiculous. I think it's something like 60% over 4 or 5 years out of the barrel. So they can't age it for a particularly long time at all. It's just due to the geography of the area. This is a 57.8% fully matured red and white wine Portuguese cask whiskey. I've never tried anything from Portuguese. I've tried Portuguese red wine barrel whiskey, but never Portuguese white wine, so this is a total new experience for me. As you see when we do a bit of kind of the smelling and the tasting, the colour isn't like whiskey, it's more like Guinness. It's black and it's thick and it looks like treacle. But yeah, it's a Taiwanese distillery, and it's very young, but that doesn't mean it's not very good. It's all about cask influence at the end of the day, and this has quite a lot of it. So we'll crack on with everything, and we'll give it a little smell. I mean, it might just be the connotations of the area, but with it being from Asia, it has somewhat of a distinct kind of Asian flavour profile about it. So it smells a little bit like Chinese 5-spice. Like soy sauce and tamarind, all that kind of stuff. Cloves. And even though it's Portuguese red and white wine, it does just smell like really old sherry, like 30-year-old dark, thick sherry. There's a lot of heat on the nose, there's a lot of spice, but 6 years old at nearly 60%, you should expect that. And there's some very small kind of fruit flavours hidden in the back. Like red apple, pineapple, a little bit of mango. The most important part of all of it is the taste. So let's see what it says. Whoa. It's instantly very sweet. It's kind of like a depth charge going off on your tongue. It gives you this huge wave of sweetness, which lasts for about a second, and then it goes away, and then it turns into that Chinese 5-spice tamarind East Asian style curry spice. Those fruit flavours come through a bit more, kind of red apple, that mango. But the key part of this is, I don't think I've ever tried any alcoholic liquid that pulls every single ounce of moisture out of your mouth like this does. It's the driest whiskey I've ever tried. It's like when you drink red wine and you get that kind of furry sensation around your teeth and your tongue goes a little bit numb. That's what this is. It's very, very powerful. I'm only taking small sips, and it's just enough to kind of get the idea of it. But let's do that again. Yeah, to repeat what I've already said, the initial taste is like drinking old sherry. It's very sweet, it's very silky, it's almost sickly, but it doesn't last for a long time. Then pulls through the spice, then a little bit of fruit, and then that really tannic, over-the-top dryness pulls every little ounce of moisture out of your mouth. You're trying to quest for like a little bit of saliva to kind of get your mouth watering again. Now, from those tasting notes and the way I've said it, you wouldn't think it deserves to be called best whiskey in the world. But I think as an experience, much like Johnny Walker Blue Label and a few other things we've tried, once you try this, you wouldn't really forget what it tastes like. It's becoming more and more expensive. It is a batch product. This is, well, when we do kind of a close-up of the bottle, you'll see the batch number on the front of it. There's only 297 bottles from the batch. And it is a remarkable, very singular one-off product from a distillery that's really interesting and really different. And you remember years ago when people started talking about New World wine from Australia and New Zealand and America. Now it's kind of new world whiskey. Japanese whiskey's been out for a long time. Some people still aren't caught up with it, but the people that are kind of used to it now. But now it's Indian and Taiwanese and Australian and New Zealand and Tasmanian. All these wonderful little parts of the world with really different temperature climates making different whiskey. And you can age your whiskey for as long as you like, or for as little as you like, but it's all about the influence of that cask on that spirit at the time and place it's being matured. There is a rule kicking around that 1 year in 1 year in Taiwan is equal to that of 7 years in Scotland. So it's maximum 6 years old. You do the math. So in theory, it should taste like a 30-plus-year-old single malt. And from the taste, it does. It's a pretty old, flavoured whiskey, but it's only 6 at the maximum. It's difficult to score because it is so unique. But purely based on experience, I think it's a good 8. A real big, solid 8. I don't think I'd own it, but it's really nice to try. It's kind of like an icebreaker whiskey. If you give this to a group of people who are really into it and want to try something different, everyone would be quite impressed. But I think if I owned that, it'd take me about a decade to drink it, which isn't a bad thing. But yeah, very different, very good. Not for me personally, but in terms of a true overall whiskey experience, a solid 8 out of 10. Thank you all very much for watching. This is the Kavalan Vinho Barrique. This is the Whiskey Jar. I've been Phil, and I'll see you all next week. Cheers.